Hi there, once again on Google Cloud. Right here, we're working in both Kubernetes cluster. We just installed the kube context. We're not going to see here. We have one cluster, which is the type GK, they are external. So I'm gonna check if the cluster is correct. Is it on time? I'm gonna run the command right here. It's gonna print the cluster is ready. Check this. Check my command line. It's gonna check in the cluster readiness. Checking it. Cluster is ready. I got a slip of 5 seconds. Can put even more. Pretty cool, the kind of command. And I'm going to export a couple of commands, create a file room. Just copy the remote config. kubectl context central. Then I can run this command to switch. kubectl remote. This is a way to switch from one cluster to the other. If I check on this cluster, what I have as nodes. Now I'm going to export my KSA with those names. I'm going to print my secret. I'm going to use this. I'm going to copy into a notepad. What we do now, you click here, login, token. It's gonna be green right here. All right, now we're going to understand the configuration of service mesh of most multi-cluster, the control plane with Antus service mesh, and also, of course, with Istio. So I'm going to download Antus ASM, Antus Service Mesh. I'm going to switch to Central, create a namespace Istio, creating the secrets and the namespace also. Now I can cur post authorization, this mesh config, the project EDSO, right? Yeah, as expected. Now I can switch to Central. Put it over, gonna run a couple of ASM Citadel, installing Istio. Jack is missing that folder. Get into Istio. Let's install it. It's been installed. We get into Central, getting workloads or services, gonna see everything installed. The control plane components. Gonna show the multi-cluster gateway YAML. You can see that I have multi-cluster enabled through. That's what I would like to show. Now I'm going to refill the GKE cluster with the non-GKE cluster. Switch to Central. So those are my namespaces. If I get into remote, let's get the namespace of remote. We have all the things similar. Now what I want to do, I want to get the pods. Istio namespace is istio-d, grep in istio-d. Could also run like this. And now we're going to check into remote. On remote, I have istio-d running. So now I'm going to the Central. We get the CRDs have 0. The CRDs, it means custom resource definitions, right? 0, it's fine. This is Central. Let's go to remote and check 25. This is the Istio version. Central on remote. Cool. Now let's configure a DNS to locate services external to a cluster. First thing we do, kubectl central. I'm going to apply and do that separately like this. I'm sure I ran wrong the commands. It's config map. Back to remote. We're gonna run on central. Create config map on central. Going to remote. kubedns. This is the kubedns. Global. gonna check on the central context. Well, I don't have the coordinates on the cubic context of central. Error. Alright. So I just have an external. Okay. Now what will I do? I'm on base here. I'm going to clone a project. Cool. Let's get into the project we want to work on. Let's call it Hipster Shop. I'm going to export some MVVars. Let's get in the Ingress Gateway. Let me switch to Central. And let's export these addresses. Let's create a namespace of Hipster. I'll leave the Istio injection enabled. Let's apply the central. Cool. Let's do the same for remote. I'm gonna get into services here, of both. Got it. Look out the components. You have also the service, you have the Ingress Gateway. Doing that for the remote. And let's leave the Istio injection enabled for Hipster 1. And let's apply everything there. Create all those components. This is by Hipster. Hipster 1. Workloads. Okay, you see here the different namespaces, alright? I'm gonna run context central to get everything we had. Pod serves deployment and replica sets. I'm gonna do the same in this case Hipster 2. If I do this for this remote, it's gonna be Hipster 1. Everything here is clustered IP. Now we're going to get the virtual service of it. So I don't have a gateway. Let's do this for the virtual services. We did for the central. We don't have the Ingress Gateway installed for both of them. So in this case, I should check the Istio system installed. It doesn't have the Ingress Gateway. I should have an answer of it, even the gateway. We should have a gateway installed. But everything I would like to share to right now is how to switch the context having a multi-cluster. See you in the next video. We're going to be connecting both services from one cluster to the other. See you in the next lab. Bye bye.